Oba Femi made a questionable decision, and Seth Rollins flat out lied to Roman Reigns, and he just accepted it as fact. And we'll go over that and much, much more on your Raw one take, one shot review, where I do it all immediately following the episode. That way you get my gut reaction. I can't go listen to Sante Zap and then regurgitate his opinion in my own words. Nope, gotta tell you how I see it right this second. And you know what? It wasn't a bad Raw. It wasn't a bad Raw. Good follow-up from Night of Champions. Not gonna lie, but it was not perfect. In fact, I have some questions because there are certain things that just, I don't know, I guess it kind of makes sense if you squint your eyes and tilt your head and be like, yeah, I guess I can see it. But at the end of the day, it's almost like they had to go out of their way to make it make sense instead of just letting, like, I don't know, if you say the winner of the King of the Ring is going to main event SummerSlam with a champion of his choosing, then maybe the winner of the King of the Ring should main event SummerSlam with a champion of his choosing. Instead, Oba Femi just gave it up. He was like, nah, that championship will be there any day of the week. I want Brock Lesnar right now because that's what happened. So, Oba Femi is not going to be challenging for this belt or the Undisputed belt at SummerSlam. Let's go over that after I tell you how you can actually go for this belt. At 30,000 subscribers, I'm going to give it away. You see, people, I'm trying to quit my day job. I need to quit my day job. I was watching the Unforbidden pay-per-view yesterday, and literally I had to go in the middle of it because people called off work. I'm very thankful to have a job, but I hate it at the same time. So please help me out and subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and comment on this video, and then you're eligible to win right here. This, not a toy, it's a replica. You can win it. 30,000 subscribers. It could be yours. It could be yours. All right, so shall we start with the top, or should we talk about Seth Rollins lying to Roman Reigns? That's the main event segment. Let's start with that. This version of Seth Rollins, even though I think he should have lost to Braun Breaker yesterday, let's just focus on the here and now. I think that this is the best version of Seth. He didn't come out, he wasn't all laughing, he wasn't all braggadocious. He came out and he was serious. Because before that, Roman Reigns comes out. He comes out, and so does Jacob Fatu. Don't know why the Usos weren't there, but they weren't because they were in the building. So they're there, Jacob and Roman. And just like when Brock Lesnar interrupted Oba Femi earlier in the evening, Roman was allowed his one thing to say before "burn it down," the music hits. Then Seth comes out, and Seth is very serious. He's like, Roman, I want your belt. I never lost the belt. It's my belt, actually. And Roman's like, you're the back of the line, man. And Seth is like, you can't pull that on me. You can't pull that on me. You can do it to anybody else, but not me. Seth didn't even go into the fact that, because Roman said, what have you done lately? And Seth just did beat Braun Breaker, but then again, like, who hasn't recently? But he's like, no, you can't pull that on me because of everything we've been through, Roman. And then he proceeded to lie. He was like, you've never beat me, Roman. You've never beat me. Yes, he has. I'm pretty confident that Roman has beat Seth at least twice on a Monday Night Raw. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to include house shows. Not including house shows, but I'm pretty confident Seth has beaten Roman Reigns. I do plan, if my work schedule allows, to do an Easter egg video on this segment, but I'm pretty confident that Roman has beaten Seth. Now, you could say that maybe Seth was talking about, you've never beat me as your tribal chief version. Yes, you beat me as the big dog, but like this apex, this greatest version of Roman, you've never beat me. But then again, Seth Rollins, he said, you never beat me at WrestleMania 41. You never beat me at the Royal Rumble when, I'm the one guy you couldn't beat as the tribal chief. And if we go all the way back, I cashed in on you. So the fact that Seth Rollins was using the cash-in, which was during the big dog era of Roman Reigns, Seth implies that Roman has never beat him, big dog or tribal chief, and Roman Big Dog has beat Seth Rollins. So that was a lie, and Roman did not call him out for it. But let's just pretend that never happened. And Seth starts going over everything. He's like, I stole your wise man. I've always been one step ahead of you. He's like, Roman, you are going to be the greatest of all time. You are, brother. And one day, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. In fact, the whole episode of the Hall of Fame should just be you. You're that great. I might even induct you, Roman. And I really liked this because it shows that there is still a bond there. Even though they kind of hate each other, there's still kind of love there. Seth Rollins actually did an interview one time when they were like, you hate CM Punk. He's like, yeah, I hate CM Punk. And they were like, and you hate Roman. He's like, I don't hate Roman. I love Roman. I hate the things Roman does. There's a fine line between hate and love, and I actually love Roman Reigns as a brother. And that's why it makes me so mad, the things he does. And so, like, you can tell that they still love each other, but at the same time, they've grown to a point where there's hate also. They walk that line, and I very much felt it here tonight. And Roman was like, yeah, you're right. I need to beat you. I need to beat you. Kind of like when Jacob was like, I don't want that title. I need that title. Roman was like, I don't want to beat you. I need to beat you. And that was pretty much it. And Roman just accepted the challenge. And you could be like, wait a second. So if he's accepted that challenge, does that mean that Oba picked Sami Zayn? No, Oba picked Brock Lesnar. Wait, does Brock have a title? No, Brock does not have a title. And that's the questionable part. Like I said, overall I enjoyed this Raw, but there were some questionable things. Seth lying to Roman not pointing that out, but just saying, I accept, and that's going to be a good match. That's going to be a high-quality main event, and I'm very excited. And Seth did also say that this might be the last opportunity we ever get to face each other, because let's face it, brother, we are at the tail end. There are more days behind us than there are in front of us. Just like one day, a long time ago, we came in and dispelled the old guard, while new guys and gals are coming in to dispel us. So yes, Roman versus Seth, that's how we close it out. Very good segment. I hope we don't do the beat by beat what we did with CM Punk and Roman leading into WrestleMania, where it was just pretty much only interviews for a while. I'm like really, really hoping that we get some some fisticuffs, and not just a power bomb through the announce table. I hope we get a little more than that. So yeah, that's how you close the segment. Now let's go all the way to the beginning. Oba Femi comes out. Yeah, I love that Oba Femi. I feel like Oba Femi, he's already tired of doing the shoulder thing, because like halfway down, he kind of just stops and the crowd cheers him, and he's just like, all right, come on, cheer me. Get it over with. But yeah, I don't feel that Oba really cares about the chants and stuff. Although tonight he did say that is befitting a ruler, but now you must do it to befit a king. I need to work on my Oba Femi impression, because this guy's going to be around for a while. So Oba, then he's like, I got to choose. Who am I going to pick? I have a champion to choose. And then Brock Lesnar's music hits. I was surprised. I was like, oh, here we go. Brock comes out. He's now in sweatpants. I guess he didn't want to rip his jeans. He comes out. He circles the ring. He claps some fans' hands. Then he walks in. He's like, don't worry, man. I'm not coming. And he starts speaking. It's always weird when Brock does more than like 2 sentences. And he starts saying, hey, I don't watch the product. Everybody knows I don't watch the product. Watch, Brock Lesnar's a huge AEW fan. He's like, I don't watch the product. Paul's been telling me, Oba, that you've been talking about me behind my back. And Paul's like, he cuts a great promo, though. And then Brock just keeps talking, and he says, talk crap. Well, he says the S word. Talk S word, get hit. And it rhymes if you actually say it. And then he kicks him in the balls. And Oba falls down. And then he F5s him. And Paul Heyman and Brock, they're feeling really mighty proud of themselves. That was a great promo, Paul says to Brock. And Brock admitted he doesn't cut a good promo, which I really liked because, good self-awareness on Brock Lesnar. I hate that Brock Lesnar entertains me sometimes because I wish Brock would just go away forever. But despite my dislike of that guy, sometimes he just entertains me, and tonight he actually entertained me, and I hate Brock Lesnar for that. I hate when he entertains me. I just want him to go away and never come back, but tonight, can't lie, he was on his game. He was on his game tonight, and he entertained me. He walks up the ramp, and then Oba, he gets up, he's still, selling the injury or the kick to the balls, and he says, Oba says, no, Brock, you always do this. We can play cat rat all day long. I love that he said cat rat instead of cat and mouse. He's like, we can play cat rat all day long, but no, I want you at SummerSlam. And that's where it's like, full breaks. Come on. I don't mind them doing this, but why have the championship like kind of dangle with the King of the Ring? If Oba's going to win the King of the Ring and not go for the championship, then don't make that part of the stipulation. Or explain it just a little bit better. Because so Oba says, let's do it, King of the Ring. And then Brock is like, all right, but I'm going to one-up you. Hell in a Cell. And there it is, right? Now, they could have easily fixed this. They could have just easily fixed this. So we could have had this whole thing happen. Brock kicks him in the nuts. He does the F5, and he says, keep my name out of your mouth. All right? I beat you. I'm done with you. I am just done with you. He walks up the ramp. Oba grabs the mic. Oba says, Brock, I want you at SummerSlam. Brock says no. Brock just says flat out, no, I will not face you at SummerSlam. And then he's like, no. He just says, I want to face you at, say Saturday Night's Main Event. He's like, no, I'm not going to face you at Saturday Main Event. I'll face you at SummerSlam. And the only way I'll face you, Oba, is if you put your number one contendership match on the line. Otherwise, we will never meet in the ring again. Then Oba Femi could have said, fine, whatever. I'll put my number one contenders match on the line, but we're going to fight in Hell in a Cell. That way, Oba is the one that, announces Hell in the Cell, because a heel should not want to be in Hell in the Cell. And Brock should have been trying to duck him. Brock should have made Oba put his number one contendership match on the line. And then it would have been fine. Then we could have had Oba versus whoever at the next PLE, WrestlePalooza or whatever it is after SummerSlam. Does that make sense? Because when Oba goes to Adam Pearce later, he's like, the championship's going to be there whenever. I want Brock now. So that's all we had to do was make Brock duck Oba Femi unless he put the number one contendership on the line. We were close. So, anyways, it's gonna be a killer match. I hope this is the last between the three, and I hope Oba destroys Brock Lesnar. Hope he destroys him. And so we will also have Adam Pearce. He was talking to Paul Heyman too, and Paul Heyman's like, "Come on, make the match." At some point, Austin Theory walks up to Paul Heyman, and he's like, "Hey, Wise Man, you're here." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm here. Why didn't you tell me you were here?" But now you know. And then he walks away. I guess Paul Heyman has finally given up on the Vision as a whole, and he made Austin Theory look like a chump, just like Joe Hendry will later on. We will have a concert for Joe Hendry and the Street Profits. They sing a song, not bad, and Joe Hendry makes fun of Austin Theory, and he says, I forget what he said, I pinned you, I buried you when John Cena buried you on the microphone or something. And then Austin Theory comes out, "Yeah, I got buried by John Cena, but now I'm going to bury you in the ring." Austin Theory, man, he's we should just make that guy a babyface because he's not a good heel anymore. He's just not cutting it as a heel. Joe Hendry will beat Austin Theory. Joe Hendry will beat Austin Theory also. And let's rewind it. After the Oba stuff, we had our first match of the night with Ethan Page versus Rey Mysterio. No shame in losing to Rey Mysterio, but I don't understand why we have stopped what we were doing with Ethan Page. The dude was seamless. It was seamless how he got onto Monday Night Raw. It was pretty much like his entrance into Raw was just as good as Trick Williams on SmackDown, right? But and now we've just taken all the foot off the gas. Why? So Rey Mysterio could get a victory? Rey doesn't need the victories. He just doesn't need the victories. I'm not saying that Rey should lose every single match, but why is he beating Rusev? Why is he beating Ethan Page? I don't understand that. Can we not push these guys? What's the end goal for Rey Mysterio? Are we building Rey Mysterio up, this young and up and comer Rey Mysterio to what? What's his end game here? Why are we jobbing Ethan Page out to him? I didn't get that. At all. Not because Rey Mysterio's not worthy, but because Rey Mysterio's been around for a little bit and we need to build up Ethan Page. Let the guy get some victories because his first month on the roster to where he is right now, he has fallen really hard, and it sucks. Danhausen was all over the show tonight. I guess he's feuding with the Judgment Day now. We had Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonagh. They're going to trash his laboratory and steal a jersey. We will have the Joe Hendry concert. He wins. IYO SKY celebration. She comes out. She says she's super duper happy. And maybe it's because my mom is Asian and she kind of the way IYO SKY talks kind of reminds me of my mom, that almost anything IYO says, I kind of aw. so yeah. I'm gonna whenever IYO talks, I'm gonna pretty much like it. So I do got a bias, I'm not gonna lie. But then she gets beat up by Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan comes out, the whole Judgment Day, the women jump her, and when it's all said and done, she fights it, on her own for a little bit, but then Liv beats her up, puts her in. I guess the story here is the selling of the leg. This is another instance where the king of the ring, queen of the ring is just mind-boggling in that okay, I guess it's a good thing that IYO is actually challenging a champion at SummerSlam, but the bad thing is she already beat the champion at the Queen of the Ring that she is challenging. It's oh my gosh, Liv Morgan, I'm going to die on that hill. Liv Morgan should not have been in the Queen of the Ring. And IYO SKY should have beat her clean and then instantly said, yeah, I'm challenging you. I don't care about that match at all. But Liv Morgan did get a good line in when she's like, now I'm mad at you. And don't forget what I did to Rhea Ripley. I destroyed her. I destroyed everything about her. She's never been the same. You know what's funny though? I just thought about this. Rhea Ripley, when she had to relinquish her title, so Liv could win it, she had to relinquish it, right? And then she won it back at SummerSlam. Liv Morgan, when she won her title, she will not have defended her title until SummerSlam. So the amount of time that Rhea Ripley was out in 2024 when she had to relinquish her title is less time than a healthy Liv Morgan has held the title without defending it. I'm a Liv Morgan fan. Just because I'm criticizing her title reign doesn't mean I'm criticizing Liv Morgan. I know it's the writers who has given her no stories, so I'm criticizing the writers. And then they just beat up IYO SKY. Match 3, LA Knight. There's only 2 people on the roster that they're going to let Jimmy Uso beat, and that's LA Knight and Drew McIntyre. And Jimmy Uso did beat LA Knight here. I loved Jay on the commentary. Jay even called out Oba Femi. He was like, I tapped him out, because he did tap out Oba Femi technically, but he didn't. Oba Femi was in the sleeper hold at King of the Ring, and he kind of he was like, he was getting pumped up, and when he did, he actually hit the mat 3 times, and by like WWE official rules, that is a tap out. So like Jey was saying, yeah, I tapped him out, but everybody was like, okay, Jey. Jey's just really funny now. He's really funny now as this heel right hand man. I like this. He was outside the ring, and LA Knight eventually will attack Jey. And that will mean Jey's going to kind of get involved or distraction, and that will allow Jimmy to roll up LA Knight. Then Jey starts attacking LA Knight after the fact. And Solo Sikoa comes out, and he will, solo thumb, Smo and Spike, Jimmy. And then Jey sees that, and Solo's like, haha, got you. And then LA Knight attacks Jey Uso. So it looks like we're getting LA Knight versus Jey. Well, no, actually, we're not getting that. I don't know, because Jey's going to go to SmackDown to face Sami Zayn, to challenge Sami Zayn, which I don't like at all. But I don't know if we're getting LA Knight solo versus the Usos at SummerSlam, or is it just going to be LA Knight versus Jey? I don't know, but it looks like an LA Knight Solo Sikoa dynamic is starting to form here. This will lead to a backstage segment with Jacob Fatu, where the Usos are like, where were you, man? Where were you? Jacob's like, I've already said this to you many times. I don't answer to you, especially not you punk, but Jey, I answered to Roman. That's it. And I'm going to go to SmackDown now because of all these things with Solo. And Jey's like, well, I'm going to go too. Maybe we can ride together. That was so funny. Like now they want to ride with Jacob. But Jey's like, I'm going to go and challenge Sami because now he doesn't have a challenger. I don't want that at all. The last good guy, Sami Zayn, versus the right-hand man, Jey Uso, both need to be heels. Just have Sami come in as a bloodline member. He's an honorary Us. But like, if they turn Sami Zayn babyface, I swear if they turn Sami Zayn babyface, they better not. It's like, we like the last good guy, and then we're going to be accused of being fickle. Well, we gave it, you guys were cheering for him a week ago. Yeah, don't change the character of Sami Zayn. Don't change the character of Jey Uso. Let Sami fight somebody else. Besides, Jey Uso is a Raw guy. Like, Gunther had to make backhanded deals with Paul Heyman to challenge Cody for the title and switch brands. Why can Jey just walk over there and ask Sami? So, yeah, don't do that, please. Don't do that. I bought a 24-pack of water bottles. I'll be, like, knocking them all off. We got Maxine Dupree. She lost to Raquel Rodriguez. Like, it kind of like, I hate that they keep saying, oh, she's such an underdog. She's the champion. She was the former champion. We should quit saying that she's such a rookie if she's kind of been a champion in the past. I'm not saying we got to say that like she's the greatest of all time, but like we should acknowledge that she's better than she was 2 years ago as a former Intercontinental champion. She will walk by Chad Gable, and Chad Gable is doing like these with some kind of equipment, and she goes to Chad like, hey, listen, sorry about last week. It's just everything you said was, and then Chad's like, no, you don't owe me an apology. Like, we can do this, but let's not do it now. You go to the ring. You go to the ring and handle your business. And he said it in a very respectful way. And then Maxine Dupree will lose. Later, Austin Theory will confront her, and the only person that Austin Theory can intimidate on the entire main roster, Maxine Dupree. Hey, what was that? And she's like, I don't know, Roxanne or Raquel just had my number. No, not that. The thing with Chad Gable, you going back to him? If you're going back to him, then I guess this is not going to work. And then he walks away. And then Otis and Tozawa walk up. What's going on? And she's like, I don't know. And then she walks away. It's like, what are we doing here? This Austin Theory, Maxine Dupree, are they dating? This has been going on since March. It is now June. Like, I think it's the end of June, and we haven't really got anything going on there. Now, Raquel, we will have Raquel. Okay, I already said that. Dominic was JD McDonagh versus Chad Gable. Good match. Solid showing for JD McDonagh. I think this helped JD more than anybody because Chad Gable coming off the mask versus mask match, that dude should be on fire right now. That dude should be on absolute fire. But no, I'm very close to saying I told you so to everybody that we should have kept Chad Gable heel because his storyline right now, like, what storyline? Am I right? Like, I mean, he did do this with Penta. Like, he did the Zero Manto with Penta, and I know we're probably leading to a Penta versus Chad Gable Intercontinental match at SummerSlam, unless we're giving that to Rey Mysterio, you know, the up-and-comer who keeps beating all the up-and-comers. But it's like, there's no story with Chad Gable. Like, other than he's a really good apologizer. Like, Chad Gable, great apology. And he does beat JD McDonagh because at one point, we have Dirty Dom is wearing the jersey that the Knicks gave Danhausen. And so, like, at one point, Danhausen puts the briefcase, right, up while JD and Gable are fighting. Dom goes to the briefcase, so does JD. They open it, smoke everywhere. And while they're like, oh, smoke, then Danhausen comes in, takes the jersey off of Dirty Dom, runs up the ramp. Chad Gable will get the victory. Chad Gable gets the victory in some way, shape, or fashion. No story there. Then, as Danhausen is celebrating up the ramp, we have Raquel Rodriguez attack him, take the jersey back. He disappears. They go, what's going on here? So, Danhausen versus the Judgment Day. That's the feud here. Whew. They did make a note, though, saying that because JD's head is so big, he's not feeling the effects that Kit Wilson and Miz are being affected. So there is, at least they explained that. Okay. And Liv Morgan was like, I was cursed. That's why I lost. She said that to IYO SKY. So I think I'm about maybe a month away from not liking the Danhausen involvement anymore. Tonight, I guess, was okay. Tonight was okay because, things were explainable. It's the SmackDown stuff from Danhausen that I'm really not liking. The Raw stuff still gets a pass other than the fact that he shouldn't have cursed Liv Morgan before their match. After that, that's pretty much Raw because then we have the Seth Rollins Roman Reigns segment. And even though I did have some complaints, I think I enjoyed myself. It didn't even feel like so laborious to watch. There's still a lot of commercials. And there's still, a lot of my former critiques, either I've gotten used to it or they're not as bad. I can no longer tell. I might have just fallen in love with my, this might be Stockholm Syndrome, where I have fallen in love with my oppressor. I don't know. But that said, how many chops would I give it out of 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to give it a 7. I liked it. I think Oba Femi shouldn't have given away his title shot. I mean, he's going to get a title shot later, but I don't think he should have. You take your title shot. You get a chance at the title, you take it. And Seth Rollins lied. He flat out lied. Anyways, boys. Anyways, girls. Let me know how you felt about Monday Night Raw. See you, bye. Go leave a hot take. See you, bye.